A year ago today I released my 101 tips video, the most popular video on my channel. Since then I've released a 104 tips and 106 tips, and in the near future I'll be releasing my 108 tips as soon as patch 1.0 is out, so make sure you're subbed for that. However, in this video I'm revisiting all my tips as a lot of them no longer work. Without further ado, let's get started as we've got a lot to get through. You can gag yourself for extra storage. You can bandage quicker with bandage dressing than a rag. Disinfect both bandages and rags. Using 12 rags combined in stacks of 6 together, you can craft an improvised rope. You can also make an improvised bag with rope and a burlap sack. The press vest is just as good as the plate carrier. Food and drink spawn at these boats on the coast, a really good way to get some early supplies. You can also kill zombies for such items as food and ammo. You can crouch next to zombies to try and sneak past. Zombies will aggro off other zombies' screams. Zombies don't have stamina, so can easily catch up to you. You can still walk through these bridges, so if you want to be a little troll under the bridge, here you go. You can also walk through these at Black Mountain. This icon means you're bleeding. Clouds always head to the east. Power lines always head to towns. The town hall clock in Cherno tells you the exact server time. These trees will spawn fruit if you're really struggling for food. Small stones will spawn alongside trails and train tracks, a perfect place to make an improvised knife. An improvised knife is crafted by combining 2 small stones. If you're not having any luck finding any small stones, you can just pickaxe a rock. Drinking from ponds or streams has a high chance to make you sick. However, these antibiotics can cure this sickness. You can refill canisters at gas pumps if you want to poison your friends. Chamber a bullet before reloading for an extra shot. Unjam your weapon by holding the eject key. Jumping while reloading will cause the mag to drop at your feet. Guns aim up at a surface. Take off a suppressor to shorten the gun, therefore helping to prevent this. You can drop barrels in water to make a perfect hidden stash. If you fall up against a wall, you can see through it. A hatchet can also be used instead of a hammer when building. A hacksaw can be used on a log to get 4 planks, or you can just harvest them from these dynamic plank spawns. Not wearing shoes will make you nearly silent, but will cause you to bleed. You can use scroll wheel when you build to rotate the structure. Infected can run through player built structures. You can stack logs into 4 by dismantling a watchtower kit. You can then carry them as 4. These containers are just as persistent as barrels and tents. You can talk through a radio which is on the floor. You can then use these machines to broadcast your voice through the town. Handheld transceivers have a range of 3 kilometers, whereas a base radio has a range of 20 kilometers. However, you can use Altar radio tower to send a signal to any radio around the map. Sprint twice as often but for half the time. This allows you to have an emergency reserve of stamina just in case. Your character is heavier when wet. Jump when wounded as it's only slightly slower than a full sprint. Carry too many items and you will lose the ability to sprint. You can test your blood to see what blood type you are. People with O- blood can give their blood to anyone. People with AB blood can receive from anyone. Give a saline bag to regenerate your blood quicker. Put an item in a container to protect it from bullet damage. You can store both water and items within a cooking pot, making it a great container. Weapon descriptions will tell you what ammo the gun uses. It's faster to fill up a water bottle and then drink than to just drink. It's also a lot safer. The compass will move in your inventory depending on what direction you're looking at. Use a knife to cut seeds out of a vegetable. You can use a hacksaw to saw the barrel off a Mosin, BK rifle and BK shotgun. Cutting open a body of a dead player inside of a car will allow you to get the loot. Eating human flesh will cause your player to laugh and twitch. This is not curable. Cut a raincoat into 5 armbands and then the 5 armbands into 5 rags. You can combine duct tape with an empty water bottle to create an improvised suppressor, which can go on most rifles. A hand drill kit is a great alternative to matches. You can build a fire in these ovens, but smoke will come out of the chimney. Chickens' calls are not ambient, you can track them down and locate them. The road flare that we all spawn with can be used to light fires. Your jacket and pants are waterproof. Riffy, the shipwreck, spawns military loot. You can draw your weapon quicker from the left shoulder. Unpin a smoke grenade and attach it to your vest. You make more noise when wearing a backpack. Punch a restrained player to cancel their struggling animation. Wear gloves to prevent cutting your hands when sliding down a ladder. This will damage the gloves over time. The line on a PU scope is the height of a player at 1000 meters. You can put the FN scope on the pump shotgun. Shoes will gradually wear as you use them. Keep an eye on this. Castles are really good for finding snipers, as well as these little shops being really good for hunting gear. These green containers will spawn military loot. There's an unmarked military base just west of the northeast airfield. Don't open a box of ammo till you're ready to use it. Unboxing a damaged box will give you pristine ammo. You can craft a wooden crate with nails and planks. These are persistent and can be used for bases. Cut down a tree and bury items where the trunk was. This will regrow and hide your stash. If you're not ashamed of using glitches, you can bury your stash in a graveyard. The same thing under train tracks and radio towers. You can attach the assault backpack to the assault vest. Recently placed landmines will make a ticking noise. Disarming a landmine can be done with a shovel, but it will cause it to explode every time. The best way to go about it is just to shoot it from a distance. Shooting a gas station will cause it to explode. You can use a long stick to store extra food. Hot items will not heat your character up when in your backpack. You can wear an armband as an emergency rag. You can load both types of rounds into a shotgun at once. The same can be done with tracer rounds. The biggest mistake I see when new players are making a car is they forget to fill the radiator with water. If you remove the radiator from a car, it will remove all the water. A sewing kit can be used to stop bleeding but may cause infections. EpiPens will give you stamina. Morphine sticks will suppress the wounded state. Only use a light at nighttime when needed, as it's a beacon to other players. Glow sticks can be attached to your backpack, as well as a radio. You can hear gunshots up to 3.5 kilometers away. These watchtowers spawn military loot. This bar is your soft skills. You can watch my guide for more information on that. Can't jump when you're at low health. Wear gloves to prevent getting blood on your hands when cutting an animal. However, you can just wash your hands at a well. You can attach food to a long stick to roast it above a fire. Use a cooking pot when you can, as you can cook more food and you're not stuck in animation. You can use rangefinders to get the exact distance of the enemy. You can then zero your weapon accordingly. When knocked out, you can see your hotbar. If your items are no longer in it, you are being looted. Infected can be distracted by throwing an item nearby. Grass does not render in past a certain distance. Never lay down when being shot at, as it makes you an easier target. Instead, master the art of the zigzag. You can always put the most heaviest items in your backpack and then drop it when you need more stamina. A shovel can be used to bury both zombies and player bodies. Avoid wells when possible, as they're a hotspot for other players. You can ruin any item by putting it inside of a fire. Fruit and vegetables will hydrate you slightly. Soda will also energize you. Never stand still, you never know where the sniper lurks. These trail maps will show your exact location. Aviators still make you 100 times cooler. Zombies are originally attracted to the location of your gunshot and not you. If you've got the balls, you can jump over landmines. When crafting or sat in an emote, you can look 360 degrees. Put 2 pieces of cooked food in your jacket to keep you warm when swimming or in the rain. Putting a rag in a player's mouth will muffle their speech. You can also put a burlap sack on their head to limit their vision. Animal fat is overpowered. Grenades cannot explode while unpinned in your hands. A barrel cannot be moved once turned into a fire barrel and lit. Do this by poking holes into it with a knife and placing a fire within. Trees will block rain. If you're skilled enough, you can fight 2 zombies at once, stunning both just before they can hit you. When injured, codeine bumps up your speed for 5 minutes. If you find a gun with a mag in it, it won't be chambered, don't forget this. Wearing a helmet or mask will muffle your voice. A wooden axe will one-shot zombies if timed correctly. A power hit with a shovel can one-hit knockout. The same can be said for the sledgehammer. Do not silhouette yourself at night time, this can be a giveaway of your position. Take some of your own blood for use later. Keep in mind you can only start filling a blood bag up once, so do not cancel it. Never eat with bloody hands as you can get sick from it. If you have bloody hands and cannot wash them, have a friend feed you.
Human blood can give you kuru, the same now goes for human fat, do not eat it.
You can relight a fire by blowing on it. You can break bushes with your bare hands.
You can also break a long stick into smaller ones with just your hands.
You can always pre-med before a fight with either morphine, codeine or saline, so that if you do get hit you have the added benefits. If a zombie is chasing you, you can spin around and quickly punch it to slow it down. Putting a grenade in a fireplace will cause it to explode. Logging out but then cancelling it will force you to sit down even when you can't use the hotkey. Upgrade a fireplace into a furnace with large stones. You can then attach a cooking pot above this fireplace. Carry tyres within a bag so that you can jog instead of walk. Blood will clot within 5 minutes, don't worry if you can't bandage. An EpiPen will instantly wake up an unconscious player.
Depending on the surface you're walking on depends on how far a zombie can hear you.
See if a gun is jammed by looking at this stuck bullet. Zombies and other AI cannot set off a bear trap or a landmine.
Shooting a player's gun while in their hand will damage it. Relogging near an animal body will cause it to despawn if you're the only one in the area.
Melee weapons will get damaged while being used. Hunting scopes have a minimum range of 200, so be careful when shooting under this as it's not entirely accurate. Verticality is your best friend.
Don't forget you can load an extra shot into this shotgun.
Red dots get fucked up when the sun is behind them.
A Barazino spawn is the quickest way to Northwest Airfield.
There's a Santa in the smokestack if you want to impress your friends. You can fill up gas canisters with water, perfect for your base.
There's 2 types of zeros, one for your iron sights and one for your scopes. Do not confuse these. You can climb up to anything 2.3 meters high.
Zombies will be attracted to your voice. Load a tracer every 5th round to keep track on your shots. You can climb some trees. Improvised suppressors can block your line of sight. The whisper/shout feature doesn't affect the volume but the distance.
Change the fire mode of the double barrel to shoot both rounds at once. The same can be done with the blaze.
An item will be drenched if put in a cooking pot.
Zombies can spawn wearing head torches, don't panic.
You can tell how old a body is by its state of decay. Craft fishing hooks with animal bones. Fishing poles can be crafted with a long stick and rope.
Loot can spawn in these greenhouses, they're normally overlooked.
An NBC suit is entirely waterproof.
Depending on how you kill an animal depends on how much meat it yields.
You can remove cholera from infected containers using disinfectant spray
or alcohol. Vitamins boost your immune system for 5 minutes. You can silently reload your weapon by laying down during the animation. This has been Rav, stay safe out there, catch you in the next one.